So once again I welcome all of you for this evening session. So today we are discussing the second part of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. In the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna after he went through confusion. There are four distinct confusions of Arjuna. One is he felt compassionate on the enemies. Second, he felt there would not be any enjoyment if I win because I am stealing others' property. I cannot enjoy that even if I win. Third, he felt if I kill everybody, I am committing sinful activities, papakritya. So then I have to suffer for that. That is also not correct. The fourth, he said, if I kill all men member of the society, so the many dependents of these soldiers, they will all suffer and resultant will be unwanted population. Then Arjuna asking all these things, Krishna tells Arjuna, you are acting as if, you are speaking as if a great Pandita, learned, but your actions are appearing like you are an Aryan, you are not a civilized person. So Krishna chastises Arjuna, then Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, he is ready to receive spiritual instructions of Krishna for the purpose of self-transformation. In our lives, we also have a lot of confusions. Very like Arjuna's, we also think the whole world is revolving around me. I am very important. Everything is happening for my sake. And my life is meant for squeezing enjoyment for myself. Therefore, I should do this, I should not do this. Should I do this, should I not do this? I have a lot of confusions. Now, the way to come out of this permanently, not to have any confusions, rather have a contented, happy, satisfied life, the step is to surrender to Krishna. Shishyasteham shadunam tvam pratannam. And Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Now Krishna, first one by one he addresses. The second chapter is called Contents of Gita Summarized. The entire Gita summary is there in the second chapter. First chapter is a preparation. We understand our situation, Arjuna's situation is same. We are ready to receive. We are becoming ready to receive the instructions of Krishna. That is in the first chapter. Second chapter, Krishna started giving the instructions. The first, Arjuna said, I am feeling compassionate on all the enemies that are standing in front of me. Krishna explained, actually, you are not this body, you are Atma. Dehinosmi yata dehe kaumaram yavvananjana tata dehantara praptihi. Just like we change our dress, garment every day, like that the Atma changes the body. So you should not lament. If somebody removes the old cloth, he gets the new clothes. So anybody misses the old invalid body, the person gets a new body again after the death. So you should not worry. To tell that, Krishna describes vividly with the examples and analogy how we are not this body. If you remember in the last session, I also showed you a video of the real time of the experience of a mother when the child is remembering the previous life, past birth. So one of the very nice America's World Trade Center, one person jumped and how he took birth again in next life. We have watched that video, which also again gives evidence that we are not this body, we are soul. So then Krishna says, then Arjuna next he said, I am not feeling any enjoyment in fighting and result of the fighting. Then Krishna said, it is your duty to do. You must do your duty. As a Kshatriya, if you do your duty, result of your duty is that either you get heaven or you become king. If you die, you go to Swarga in the battle if he dies. And if he wins the battle, he becomes the king. So everybody must do their duty. Not doing the duty is sinful. Now Krishna is approaching the third question, third confusion of Arjuna. Arjuna said, I may be committing sinful activities. Now that Krishna is going to address in this the second part of the second chapter. So, hope you all received the handouts. So there are two sections. Last chapter we had, last section we had three sections. One is Arjuna surrendering, second is Sankhya, Krishna explaining the difference between Deha and Atma, and the third is Sakama Karma. You should do your duty, you will get good results. Now, next two sections are Nishkama Karma or Buddhi Yoga. So Buddhi Yoga. Then the third is Sthita Prajna, the qualities of a liberated Atma, the soul, Jivan Mukta, who is not bound to this world. What are the qualities? So these two sections. Now, for a layman, coming from the point of view, I am not this body, I am Atma. See, that itself is not so easily available for a common man. They know everybody thinks I am this body. Knowing that you can theoretically sometimes say, oh yeah, in the mythological books, it is said, I am not this body, I am soul. But realizing that is different. I'll give an example. All our difficulties and unhappiness in our life, depends on how much you suffer with various incidences in your life is depending on how much you are attached to your body and something associated to your body. Imagine you have a new car, purchased a new car, your car. You paid few lakhs of rupees to buy the car. And you have a driver to drive your car. And you are sitting and asking driver, let us go and drive in the new car. As he drives in the city, somewhere another vehicle comes and makes a scratch to your brand new car. What happens? You feel pain, isn't it? You may sometimes stop the car, come out of the car, fight with that person. How dare you to touch my car? Why didn't you see properly? Why didn't you drive properly? It is very painful. Basically, you are sitting, a driver is driving, you are sitting in the car and car got a small scratch. Take another instance. You are traveling in a car. Now this time it is not your car. It is a driver's car. It is a rented car. Same brand new car, but not yours this time. You are sitting and he is driving and you are going to the airport and on the way the driver touches the another vehicle and makes a small scratch. And he stops vehicle and starts fighting. That because his car, the driver is very unhappy. And what do you tell? Quickly finish and go. Finish your fight, what you want to do. Quickly go. What is there? Nothing has happened. No, why are you running? You preach to him. Because it's not your car. As soon as you don't identify with that, you are not feeling the pain. So now, when I am identifying with this body is not only Deha, associated to the Deha, my loved one, my dear one, my friend, my home, my car, my property, my bank balance, all good things, all associated with that. When I am attached as mine, the reality is that after a few years when we leave this body, nothing is ours. Everything you have to leave and go. But if I am attached so strongly like that, any small thing happens. Somewhere you purchased your footwear and you paid 1000 rupees and you have purchased same footwear at 500 rupees, you feel pain. Oh, he cheated me, I paid more. Any small thing happens, you will pain because you are attached to your things. So hence Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna. First you understand, the basic of spirituality is that you are not this body. To realize this, Aham Brahmasmi, to realize this reality that I am not this body, I am Brahman. So many sages are doing great austerities for so many years. Most difficult austerities in Himalayas and here there to realize that I am not this body. Now Krishna has given that knowledge, the kind of Atma Jnana, the basic of spirituality. From there is a foundation to understand the rest of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So next Krishna said, you are not this body, you are soul. After that he said, you must do your duty. So these things we have understood. Today we are trying to take two things. One is that jnana, I am not this body, I am soul, is some knowledge which we have. One hand I have jnana, one hand I have duty to perform. That is another instruction which Krishna has given. As a Kshatriya, you should do your duty. So club these two. Jnana and karma. When you do actions with the knowledge, again I repeat, when you do the actions with the knowledge, that becomes Buddhi Yoga. That is this section. The Buddhi Yoga is that doing actions with the knowledge. So now let us understand that and also understand the last section of this chapter. So all of you open your Bhagavad Gita book, text number 38. From there we are going to begin today's discussion. Let us chant this verse, 38th verse, and repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sukha dukhe same krutva. Sukha dukhe same krutva. Labha labho jaya jayo. Labha labho jaya jayo. Tato buddhaya yujyasva. Tato buddhaya yujyasva. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Naivam papam avapsyasi. So this is called Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga has three similar synonyms to Buddhi Yoga. One is Buddhi Yoga, acting on the knowledge and work. Another is called Nishkama Karma Yoga, because you are doing the action not expecting result for yourself. Third is also called Buddhi Yoga. Another synonym for Buddhi Yoga is Bhakti Yoga, because if you are not doing for yourself as an Atma, whom will you offer that? You have to offer to Paramatma. Atma offers to Paramatma. That is called Yoga. Yoga is the controlling complete all our senses and focusing completely on Paramatma, the Supreme. So, if I am doing my duty and offering result to Paramatma, that becomes Bhakti Yoga. So, hence Buddhi Yoga can be translated sometimes as Bhakti Yoga, sometimes as a Karma Yoga, sometimes as Jnana Yoga also. So Acharyas, the Gurus, explain this with a proper meaning like this. So Nishkama Karma Yoga, now Krishna is explaining, be equal in happiness and distress. Same Sukha Dukhe. Both you should be equal. And we should be equal in the gain or loss, labha, alabha. You should also be equal in victory and defeat, jaya, ajayo. With this consciousness, fight for the sake of fighting as a duty. What is the why you should fight? For fighting. So you should do your duty of fighting. If you fight in this consciousness, my dear Arjuna, you shall not incur any sin, Papa, because you are not doing fights. Srila Prabhupada gave a very striking example to make us understand easily. Our country appoints police, and the police sometimes take some people, put up in lockup and beat them. But if you take somebody, put up somebody in a room and beat them, you will be punished. But police will not be punished. Why? The police is not beating somebody for their personal interest. Supposed to be. So, not for their personal interest. They are doing on behalf of the government to maintain the law and order of the society. Hence they will not be punishable, they are doing their duty. They are not committing any mistake. But if you do that, if you are not a police, you take somebody, take that person to your home, lock him up in a room, take a nice cane and beat him, black and blue, then you will be punished by the law of the land. Why? Because you done for yourself. Now, here Arjuna, when can he be equal in Sukha and Dukha? When can he be equal in gain and loss, victory and defeat? When he is doing that as a duty, not for his personal gratification. Arjuna should not think, I am fighting this war, one day I will win this war and I will become king. Then you know how I will enjoy. I will have so many assistants with me, I will have palatial place to stay, I have so much of facilities, people to serve me, and he is doing for himself, then he will incur sin. But Arjuna should not fight for that. Arjuna should fight for as a duty. Result is for Paramatma, Krishna. So then he will not incur any sin. So this is very important to understand. The action is not, there is action, you cannot say good action or bad action so easily, you cannot understand. You can say whether action is good or bad by knowing the purpose of the action. Why person he has done it. Then he can decide whether it is right and right or wrong. So Nishkama Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga is a combined form of Jnana and Karma, as I explained to you. And performing duty in the knowledge without attachment to the result. Then what will happen to results? What is the inspiration for me to work if I am not attached to results? The inspiration for me is that I want to offer these results to Paramatma, God, Krishna. That is my goal. So then the person is not incurring any sin. So detachment with the knowledge. So advance towards pure love for Krishna happens by such actions. Now let us go to next verse. So next verse, I will read the translation. Thus, for I have declared to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Now, listen to the knowledge of yoga, whereby one works without fruitive result. O son of Pritha, when you act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So now I will explain to you how to perform that. When you are doing like this, okay, in the verse number 40th, while you are doing not for yourself, you are doing for the pleasure of the Lord, there is some very phenomenal things happen in your life. What is that? It's in the 40th verse. Please repeat after me. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate salpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So in this endeavor of rendering some service to God or Krishna, little bit if you do also, that will save you from the biggest danger in your life. Trayate mahato bhayat. Biggest fear. What is the biggest fear everybody has? It is called death, isn't it? So one can be saved from the biggest fear if he does little bit towards this direction. Krishna is saying. Which direction? He has already told you. That you should do as a duty and the result should be offered to God. So in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement of this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So that is one section. Buddhi Yoga, no loss and gain. Now 41 to 46 is there in the handout also. Vyavasayatmika intelligence, a Vedic karma kanda. Now here it is explained by Krishna. Those who are in the path, in this path, which path? Buddhi Yoga path. Buddhi Yoga path means my life is meant for satisfying the Lord, God, Paramatma, not for my selfish purpose. Anybody is in this path are resolute in purpose. They are very focused. These people can be very focused. Like sometimes people ask, how to improve my focus, Swamiji? Actually, to improve the focus, our purpose has to be very intense. I want to get it. If I have intense purpose, the focus will be better. So, by implementing Bhagavad Gita's message in our life gets a purpose. Entire our life gets a purpose. When the life is having the purpose, we will be focused in our life. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. Their aim is one. But the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So those who are not having this purpose in life, so their intelligence gets diverted into so many things, too many branches. So how does it happen? Krishna explains in the coming verses. Okay. So what does he explain? He says, you see in this world is called world of Maya, illusion. Why it is called world of Maya? We think it is, but it is not at the end of the day. That's called Maya. In the darkness, if I see a rope and think it is a snake, is it really a snake? If you think it is a snake, that is called illusion, Maya. It looks like a snake. Now, in this world, the reality is that one day I will be completely happy and satisfied. That is Maya. In a material platform, if you practice spirituality, it is possible. In the materialism, in the world of materialism, with the material facilities, more and more material facilities, more and more enjoyment, I'll be very happy in my life. If I think like that, that is an illusion, Maya. I only think like that. But actually it is not true. We can try. But this illusion is very powerful. You will not believe me when I say. That is why it is called illusion. This illusion is so powerful. If I say this, you say this is all the philosophy of sadhus, but my life is different. So you don't accept. That's the power of Maya. So in this world of Maya, why we have come? We all are Atmas, Jivas. Why have we come to this world of Maya? To fulfill certain desires of ours. If the children have too much of desire to play, then you can take them to a park. Or you can provide them some toys. You can provide a child with a car, tall car, and child will drag that on the floor and feel that I am driving car. He is not driving car, he is thinking like that. And you are also not telling you that is not car, you are foolish. You don't tell that to child. You encourage, oh, you drive so fast, then child enjoys. Child has a desire to enjoy in the car, and as a parent or elders, you facilitate. Now, as Jiva, all of us have a desire to enjoy ourselves. God, Krishna, facilitates that. The process of facilitating all of us to enjoy, that is called world of Maya. This is the wisdom of the Vedic knowledge, essence of Vedic knowledge, what I am saying. We are in the world of Maya. Why? Because we want to enjoy varieties of things. Since we want to enjoy varieties of things, in our scriptures, Vedas also, there are descriptions. How can you enjoy in this world? The Vedas also explain how can you enjoy in this world. Now Krishna is trying to awaken Arjuna beyond this Maya world. Hence now Krishna is going to say something very significant in the coming verses. You please see 42 and 43. What is Krishna saying? Yaminam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitah vedavada ratha partha namyat astiti vadinah kamatmanah swargapara janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. Vedas are given by Krishna only, God only. Vedesya sarve ahamev vedyah vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. God only created Vedas. Now what is Krishna saying? Please pay your attention to this translation. Men of small intelligence or men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowering words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruiting activities for the elevation to the heavenly planets, resulting good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous for sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So, Krishna is saying, if you want to come to Buddhi Yoga platform, my dear Arjuna, don't go through the process of Vedas. Come and know the Vedas. He says that now, further. You see the 45th verse. Traigunya Vishaya Vedha Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna Nidvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Nindyoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of three modes of material nature. Rise above the modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. Be free from the dualities and from all anxieties of gain and safety. Be established in self. Is this clear? Is what I said is clear to you? What did Krishna say first? He said, you should do Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga means? Yeah? You should not be worried about the loss and gain. Why are you doing certain actions? Your actions to please the Lord, not for yourself. In this you do little bit, it will save you from the biggest danger in your life. Having told this, Krishna said, Vedas, flowery language of Vedas, will take you to the illusory world, enjoying in this world. Hence, Arjuna, you should rise above the Veda. So, because it is said in the 44th verse, please repeat after me, the verse number 44. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau navidhiyate. If somebody is very much attached to the bhoga and aishwarya, opulence and enjoyment in this world, for him the determination to progress in the spiritual path will not arise. This is what is Krishna is saying. Taya aparita chetasam. His intelligence will be stolen. Who is stealing the intelligence? Maya, the illusion. The illusion steals the intelligence of those who are enamored by the facilities they have, enamored and enjoying with so much of enjoyment for selfish purposes. They will not come for understanding Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna is talking about very, very higher science. This will be elaborately discussed and described in the future chapters. Since this chapter is the contents of Gita summarized, quickly Arjuna will tell Krishna will tell few points for our understanding. Verse number 46. All purposes that are served by the small thorn can be once be served by the great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. What is the purpose behind the Vedas? The purpose behind the Vedas is to understand God. If he knows the purpose, then everything. Otherwise, we get carried away by the Vedic message to enjoy in this world, then you will be lost. Okay, go to the next section. How to practice this Buddhi Yoga or Nishkama Karma Yoga is explained little more in detail in next 3 verses. Please repeat 47th verse. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फलहेतुर्भूर् मा ते संगोस्त्वकर्मणि. You have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to the cause of results of your activity and never be attached to not doing your duty. Mate sangostva akarmani. You should do your duty. Don't be attached for not doing your duty. Do your duty. The result is not in your hands. That result is not meant for your enjoyment. Give up the result. That is called Buddhi Yoga. So person who is elevated in spiritual understanding can practice this principle. Then further Krishna says, be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna. Perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success and failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. O Dhananjaya, rid yourself of all fruitive activities by devotional service, Buddhi Yoga, and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers, kripanas. Those who are trying to enjoy for themselves by their hard work, Krishna is calling them as kripanas or misers, or you can also call them as what you call kripana, misers in our language. We say kanjus. Means you can get much better than this. If you don't work for, if you think result is for me and work hard for selfish purposes, the enjoyment you may get is this much. If you work hard for offering that result to Lord, then the enjoyment is unlimited. Then when you have a choice like this, whether you want unlimited happiness or little happiness, if you select the little happiness, then you are Kripada. You have access for higher happiness, but you are selecting the lower happiness. So next section, benefits of acting in Buddhi Yoga. What is the benefit if I act like this? That also Krishna is explaining here. If you act like this, there will not be any reactions for your action. Otherwise, every action has some reaction. A man engaged in devotional service or Buddhi Yoga rids himself of both good and bad reactions, even in this life. So one will not to suffer in this. And one will come out of this birth-death cycle. Punarapi janana, punarapi marana. He comes out of this. One becomes, I am reading the translation of verse number 50, 51, 52 and 53. 51. One becomes free from the cycle of birth and death and attains a state or place beyond all miseries. No miseries at all if one acts in this platform. 52. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard in this world. That is called indifferent to the Vedas. You go beyond when you come out of the illusion. 53. Fixed intelligence and trance. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of the self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. So you can come out of all the miseries of life. This is called Jivan Mukta stage. In this life itself, we not to, some people think, okay, this state maybe when I die. No, we are not here death. Death is too far for us. Presently, when you are alive, you can be happy by practicing this principle of life. So that principle, that state is called Jivan Mukta, means liberated platform, completely liberated platform, no more miseries. Then Arjuna asks some questions about this, because Krishna spoke about Jivan Mukta or Sthita Prajna, who is beyond, who is elevated himself. That is the next section now. So next section is Sthita Prajna, the qualities of a liberated soul, Jivan Mukta. Because Arjuna is asking this question, he becomes curious now. I want to know if there is somebody who is beyond all these things, what you saying, Krishna. If somebody is practicing these principles, how does he walk, how does he sit, how does he speak? I want to know about it. So now Arjuna is asking that question, you see, in the 54th verse. Please repeat this. 54th verse. Arjuna Uvacha Arjuna Uvacha Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha Samadhistasya Keshava Sthita dhikkim prabhasheta Kimasita vrajeta kim. Arjuna said, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in the transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk? It has some inner meaning, which I have displayed also. What is actually Krishna is Arjuna is asking? Ka bhasha. How does he speak means, what are his general symptoms? How does he speak means, on receiving praise or blame, what does he say? Internally, how does he feel? Somebody praises that person, how does he feel? Somebody blames that person, how does he feel? Externally, internally, that is called how does he speak. Kimasita. How does he sit? Means how does he refrain from the senses, sense object. Kimbrajela. How does he walk? Means how does he respond to the sense objects? When the sense objects come in front of you, how does he respond to that? How does he deal with those things? So these are the questions which Arjuna asked. Now Krishna is going to answer all these questions. Question number 1. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. That is in the verse number 55. Please repeat. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Rajahati Yada Kaman Rajahati Yada Kaman Sarvam Parthamanogatan Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Sthita prajnastadochyate Sthita prajnastadochyate. So who is Sthita prajna? It is said, when a man gives up all varieties of desires for sense gratification, coming out of the Maya. Because sense gratification is a temporary pleasure. It is not giving us permanent happiness. I can take alcohol and drink. I may be happy for some time, but the result of the reaction of that will be more suffering than the happiness which I have experienced. So, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from the mental concoctions, when his mind thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self, in Atma, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. He is the Sthita Prajna. He is finding happiness in the self, inside. Why now? Because whatever I am doing, I am Brahmasmi, I am Atma, I am not this body. My quality is to be happy. But everything has a quality, isn't it? What is the quality of a fire? Heat. What is the quality of sugar? Sweet. What is the quality of salt? Salty, isn't it? Quality of soul is what? If you take it in a microscope and test and understand the chemical composition of the soul, no. It is not matter. Microscope you can see the matter, which is atom, nucleus, proton, you can see the smallest particle, what you can see in the microscope. Soul is not matter. We discussed in the last class. Antimatter it is. It cannot be born, it can be cut into pieces, it cannot be washed, and all these descriptions are there. Then what is the quality of the soul? Quality of the soul is, it is permanent, it does not die. Second, the quality of the soul is having full knowledge, jnana, that gives lot of satisfaction. The third quality of the soul is, it is always happy. It's very difficult for us to imagine, because for today, for us to be happy, there should be a reason. If somebody is happy, smiling, why you are so happy, you'll ask him, isn't it? What happened? Maybe he has got some job, or he got some money, or he has got some girlfriend or boyfriend, he is laughing. Because he has a reason to become happy. Actually, the Atma's real nature is, you are always happy, there will not be any reason to be happy. Your quality is, you should be always happy. That is our real quality. Unfortunately, we are not able to experience the real quality of the soul. The Sthita Prajna is the one who is able to experience the quality of the self, always happy. Like you say, somebody is in depression, always unhappy. That is called state of depression. Opposite to that is called spiritual life, always happy. You do not have a reason to be happy. Just happy. Happy for what? Because that is my nature to be happy. So that is the quality of the self. When you make advancement in spiritually, that's a nature which you will start acquiring. You will not have a reason to be happy. You will be happy naturally. When Srila Prabhupada ji, he went to America, Westerners were taking into drugs. Some youth, now also they take. So the youth around whom he was reaching out, they were youngsters of America. They were taking to drugs. After taking drugs, they sit in a meditation posture. They think I am experiencing great happiness by meditation. They were thinking like that. They were talking about feeling high. When they take drugs, they feel high. The feeling high, they were thinking by meditation. They were fascinated about the Eastern philosophy of Buddhism and these things, Indian philosophy, where by meditation you can feel high. But as dosage of the drugs comes down, they fall back to down. Then again they take drugs, they feel high. When Srila Prabhupada ji went to America, he told all of them, I will give you some method from the Vedic knowledge, ancient Indian Vedic knowledge. By getting that, you can always feel high, you will never come down. You got curious, what is that? Actually, that is spiritual practice. Because our nature is to be always happy. So the Sthita Prajna is always situated in the self-likeness. Then further few more things are explained, because next question is about the A2. The next question is about, what is the next question? Next question is about how does he speak? Means how does he take respect, disrespect, blame, etc. That is explained in the next. So this is the quality of a Sthita Prajna is explained in the next 56 to 56 and 57. One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, who is free from attachment, fear and anger, is called sage of steady mind. He who is without attachment does not rejoice when he obtains good, nor laments when he obtains evil, is firmly fixed in the perfect knowledge. Because all this good and evil is of this Maya, is neither good nor evil, is Maya. So he is not affected by those things. So that is how he, yes.
So is this about balance of the mind? It's not about the mind, but balance, or we have to be always.
Good question. Actually, we are not our mind also, we are beyond the mind. In the body, there are two kinds of bodies. One is the gross body, this body which is made up of Panchabhutas. Bhumi, Rapu, Nana, Vayu, Artha, Panchabhutas, this body is made up of 5 elements. Beyond this body, there is one more body that is called Sukshma Sharira. That body is made up of mind, intelligence and Ahankara. Kannano, Buddhi, Revacha. There are 3 things. So this happiness is in different levels. First level of happiness is happiness by senses. If I eat that palatable food, I enjoy. If I see nice form, look at to my eyes, I enjoy. I hear some nice music, I enjoy. I touch something which is very soothing to me, I enjoy to the skin. So this is called the enjoyment through gross body. Next level of enjoyment is enjoyment through mind. Above the senses is mind. That enjoyment is enjoyment faced because of the love, affection, care that gives a soothing to the mind. So that is called emotions, basically. That is what the mind becomes happy. Above the mind, one person can be happy in the intellectual level also. If you are able to think something very interesting, like scientists, they become happy by doing that. Now above all this, there is one more happiness. That happiness is called spiritual happiness. That happiness is derived through Atma, the soul. So Krishna will explain that in the 3rd chapter. So there is a next level of happiness, Atma happiness, Atmananda, this called. So what Sthita Prajna is experiencing, what I explained is that happiness, Atma happiness. That is beyond even mind's happiness. Because mind is affected by all these things. Name, fame, infame, somebody blames, somebody appreciates. Mind gets affected by those things. So one has, if he wants to not to get affected by these things, then he has to cross the mind level and come to the level of spirituality. So next is, how does he control his senses? So an example is given here. Sorry. In the verse number 58 to 63, Sthita Prajna's sense control is explained. How does he control his senses? 58, Krishna gives an analogy. Yada samharate chayam kurmanganiva sarvashaha. Kurma means tortoise. Tortoise, whenever there is a danger, it withdraws and goes to a safe place inside its shell, is it not? Our senses are like these 5 parts of the tortoise body. It has 4 legs and head coming out of the shell. We also have 5 senses, panchendriyas. Whenever there is a danger which is not good for me, that it comes in front of me, I should not get attracted to those. I should withdraw my senses. So Krishna is giving that example. One who is able to withdraw his senses from the sense objects, as tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in the perfect consciousness. How does he sit? Was the question, isn't it? Self-control. How is he sitting? So this self-control, he controls. Sthita Prajna is able to control. When it is good, he is able to use the senses. When it is not good, he is able to withdraw the senses. That is the ability the Sthita Prajna has. But it is said senses are very, very strong, very difficult to overcome. For that one formula Krishna has given here. Please repeat, very, very, very important verse. Okay, 59. Vishaya vivartante nivaharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drushva nivartate. So Krishna is talking very practical things. The embodied soul may be restricted from the sense enjoyment. Now you heard today Bhagavad Gita class. Oh, I should restrict myself. I'll not do this, I'll not do this, I'll not do this. You decide some things in your life. Like whenever the new year comes or birthday comes, we take some resolutions, isn't it? 31st night in the December, we take a resolution. New year onwards, I will do yoga every day. It is said on the 1st January and 2nd January, all the gyms are full. There is no space in the gym because everybody took a resolution. So those who are regularly going to gym, they got irritated. And the gym master said, don't worry, take break for 10 days, all of them will stop coming, again you can come back. All the resolutions fall after a week or 15 days. Now Krishna is saying, the soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for the sense objects remain. Still in the heart the desire to enjoy is there. Now Krishna is giving an idea for this. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing the higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishva nivartate. What one should do? Param drishva, higher taste. Then the lower taste will go. Now we'll come back to the example I gave you. The boy enjoyed, the child enjoyed driving a toy car. You all were small kids. All of us were small kids once upon a time. We also liked the toys. Is it not? At least I remember I was liking the toys. Some jeep, car, so toy. As I grew up, you all grew up. Now after 20 years or 30 years, do you still like the toys? Still you have those cars and those toys in your cupboard, and when you get some time you play in your room. Do you do that? Why did you stop? Did somebody say don't do that? You grew up. You got higher taste of real car. Now your desire is real car, not toy car, because there is a higher taste of real car. Toy car desires automatically dead. Now Krishna is giving this logic. You want to kill all those unwanted habits in you? Then what you should do? You should attach yourself to the habits which are more fascinating than those things which are good for you. That is what Krishna consciousness in ISKCON we offer for the spiritual people. We have varieties of engagement and entertainment within the ambit of the Krishna's instructions. We have trips, we have tours, we have adventure, we have varieties of food, we have dancing, we have music, we have all kinds of things. If you develop a taste in those things, taste for unwanted things which are not good for you will automatically die. So this is the method. So but Maya's allurement is very strong. To come out of that, you have to develop interest in something which is more nicer, better than the bad habits. Okay. So next is those who are not able to control their senses. How does this happen? Krishna explains very systematically, like a very good psychologist. Very, very striking logic Krishna gives now in the next two verses. Please chant this. 62 and 63. Jayato vishayan punsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama kama krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohah sammoha smriti vibhramah smriti bhramsha buddhinasho buddhinasha pranashyati. The sequence at which we fall trap to the bad habits is explained here. How does it happen? Starts with the Jayato Vishayan Pumsan. While contemplating on the objects of senses, I start contemplating. Say there is a adolescent child of 15 years or 14 years going to school, and he sees very nice smartphone with his friends, but he does not have smartphone with him. She looks at that. Oh, so nice. They're playing games in that. Very attractive. So continuously thinks. That is called contemplation. Dhyayate vishayan punsaha. By contemplation, what happens is, thinking stage, attachment develops. Sanghasteshu upacharite. Sangaha means attachment. Now attachment is developed. So he comes and asks, he has a feeling for it, I should have. Comes and asks his father, Father, I want to have a smartphone. Father says, no, till you finish your education, you cannot get this. No, because of the attachment. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. He has already developed so much of building and doing. Sometimes he would take his friend's phone and use that. So much has developed. The father has objected it. It has developed into stage of sangat kamaha, lust. Now father said no. What happens in child's mind? Kama krodho vijayati. Anger. Is angry at his father. Look at my father, useless. See his father, providing all those things. So he becomes angry at the father. What is the result of anger? Sometimes we say, if I become angry, I don't know what I will do. When you become very angry, sometimes you warn other person, isn't it? Sit down, raise my chin, don't know what I will do if I become angry. It is true. What happens when you become krodha, angry? In the next verse you see, krodha bhavati sammoha. When the krodha develops in the mind, anger comes in our mind, what happens is the delusion happens. Delusion means like a dizziness. Suppose you are taken some, you are feeling a dizziness. Hazy, nothing, you are not able to understand what is right, what is wrong. Is it not? So delusion develops because of the krodha, not clear. What should I do, what should I not know? Then so in the anger they kill. Because they don't know they forget everything. There's a consequence. So now, from the delusion, Krishna says, sammoha smriti vibhramaha. Running, delusion, what happens is, one person moves to the next stage of fall down called bewilderment of memory. What does it mean? How can I relate this to the example which I gave you? The child became angry at father. He got deluded by anger. Now he forgets all that good father has done to him. Father gave me encouragement, father took me for a talk, father gave me good fees, father gave me a lot of things which I forget. That is called bewilderment of memory. So next stage of fall down comes next. Smriti bhamsha buddhinasho. What happened? Loss of intelligence. The buddhi, the intelligence, has a very special function. The function of buddhi is to discriminate between right and wrong. Logic applied by the intelligence. The logic, the buddhi, right and wrong is lost. Then they take the next step. Because of the loss of intelligence, then comes the fall down. Buddhinasha pranashyati. What pranashyati? Sometimes we hear the news, the child took a gun and shot at parents. You heard such news sometimes. You see where it started? Jayate vishayan punsaha, contemplating on the object of enjoyment. Now this is an example I gave you. This you apply to your life. When you don't want to do something, you should avoid that at the stage of contemplation. Suppose I don't want to become lusty, or I don't want to become something. What I should do? I should stop at the stage of contemplation. Once you contemplate, attachment comes. Once you get attached, lust comes. Once you get lust, krodha comes. Because of anger, what happens? The memory is lost, delusion happens. In the delusion, memory is lost. When memory is lost, then I lose the intelligence. Intelligence lost, then I will go behind. So Krishna is giving a wonderful analogy to explain this, how this process happened. That is why You see so many crimes happening. Somebody, boy comes and sprays acid on the face of a girl. All this is where it all started. So this is how Krishna is analyzing wonderfully. The last question is Sthita Prajna's sense and engagement. How does he walk? So how does he walk? Means what is sense enjoyment? I'll quickly read now. Okay. One who can control his senses by practicing the regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of Lord, thus become free from the attachment and aversion. To control our senses, we have to practice some regulations. Simple regulations, like getting up early in the morning. We have to maintain the mode of goodness, sattva guna, to control the senses. These practices I will explain more when we come to the next higher chapters of Bhagavad Gita. What all practices we can do so that it will help to control our senses. One who is so situated in divine consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such a happy state, one's intelligence soon becomes steady. When it comes to good consciousness, he is very steady. As a boat on the water swept away, as the boat on the water is swept away by the strong wind, you are one of the senses on which the mind focuses can carry away man's intelligence. One has to be very careful. Any sense can carry away our resolution and carry away our intelligence. Then Krishna says, what does the sadhaka means? What does he do? Therefore, O mighty armed Arjuna, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly steady intelligence. What one should do? Control his senses, not to get attracted by sense object. He should control his senses. He is called sadhaka. Okay, practicing spiritual life. So practicing spiritual life starts with controlling the sense objects. But sometimes Chitta Prajna, his life is seen like this. In the verse number 69. Yamisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato me. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control. What is the time of awakening for all the being is night for the introspective sage. It's called metaphor. It is explaining a very interesting thing. What is the whole world thinks the enjoyment, the spiritualist thinks that is suffering. What spiritualist thinks this is enjoyment, the whole world thinks that is suffering. What is this? You are sitting and doing dhyana, simplicity. You are suffering, they think. You are meditating, you are practicing, chanting Hare Krishna, it's a waste. You are actually not enjoying your life. So this is how Krishna himself is explaining. So normal people who are sense gratifiers, who are interested in sense enjoyment, their daytime is your night is their day. Meaning our life is generally opposite to the life of others who are in the material consciousness. And it is also true in the direct meaning. How it is true in the direct meaning? The spiritualists sleep early and get up early. In the temple, we all get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I know many youth, they sleep at 4 o'clock. 3:30, 4 is their sleeping time. When they are going to bed, we get up. So, our day is their night and their night is our day. In direct meaning also it is true. So Krishna is giving this idea, what is spiritual life means. Then, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires, that enter like a rivers into the ocean. Just like so many rivers are joining the ocean, but the ocean is not disturbed. Which is ever being filled, but is always still, can alone achieve peace, not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. You may be amazed how much water flows to the ocean in the rainy season. All the rivers are carrying, but the ocean does not get affected. Like that, so many desires may come in our mind, but we should not get affected by those desires. That is called Sthita Prajna, who has achieved. Don't worry, we have not achieved that. Okay. Krishna is explaining there's a state like that. That is what the highest platform of spiritual success. So when the living entity becomes desireless, in the next verse it is said, desires only for the satisfaction of God or Krishna, is free from the false ego, no ahankara, false proprietorship, it's mine, I am, that is also Arjuna. And I am free from the sense enjoyment, I am not interested in enjoying my senses. That is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness or Sthita Prajna. That's the highest consciousness. So, he attains the real peace. He will be really happy. The real happiness comes there. So, last verse of this chapter ends with this message now. Please repeat after me, last verse. Esha Brahmi Sthitihi Partha Nainam Prapya Viruhyati Vitvasyam Antakarepi Brahma Nirvana Vricchati. So, in this way, that is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which man is not bewildered. Brahma Nirvana Vricchati means he enters the kingdom of God, one who is thus situated, even at the hour of death, even at the time of death, the person is completely happy, not bewildered, not scared, completely peaceful. So it's not about after death, it is about our life. One can attain this peace. So that person can attain the kingdom of God. So this is called content of Gita summarized. So now we have understood about why to accept Guru. Arjuna accepted Guru. Second, I am not this body, I am soul. Third, I must perform my duties. Fourth, I should perform my buddhi yoga. That means I should work with the knowledge, do my duty not simply like that. I should work with the knowledge that I am not this body, I am soul. Hence all my work, the result of my work is for the pleasure of Krishna or God. I should work in this consciousness. When I work in this consciousness, I will be completely happy. That is called Jivan Mukta stage. Then we also understood the symptoms of the people who achieved that perfection. And we also understood some interesting things like how the fall down happens, how to control by experiencing the higher taste. So these are some of the important topics also we discussed today. We also discussed what is the quality of the soul. Okay. With this we have come to the end of today's chapter. Now, having heard this much, then Arjuna gets more questions in mind. So what is Arjuna's question? We will hear in the next chapter and understand more about Karma Yoga next time. Okay. So thank you very much. Again I request all of you, now we have completed 2 chapters. Request all of you to read these up to 2 chapters before you come for the next session, so that your understanding will be much mature, much developed, and you will be able to get the full advantage of this class. Second, if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita better, you require spiritual strength. You gain spiritual strength in this age by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please go to our counter, buy a mala which helps you to count. At least 108 times you should chant Hare Krishna mantra, then read Bhagavad Gita, and I will guarantee you all satisfaction and happiness in your life. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.